This is False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for FanSided. I'm joined today by a man who is brimming with more enthusiasm than Fernando Mendoza, who has his chest puffed out like he's Mario Cristobal peacocking. But I don't think he has the fear P rolling down his legs like Dante Moore. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. Let's crack open a beer and do this show. How are you?
Yeah, I went in the toilet, not down my leg. It was great, man. Dude, what an ass kicking we just
It
saw,
was, dude,
man.
this game was over when Fernando Mendoza got Magic City wings, man. I don't know if that where he did. It
100%.
was over. And before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, give this thing a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Again, yeah, we're coming to you guys semi-live here after the Peach Bowl. I don't care what the final score was. It was over as soon as Dante Moore fumbled it.
Oh, 100%, man. It was an ass kicking, and I'm gonna let this go in right into our run because I think there are two sides to this story here, but I think we first got to run. Indiana's a death machine, brother.
Yeah.
Like you said on our preview show for this that, and I don't disagree with this still. They're probably the least talented team that was playing in these semifinals. It does not matter. They are the
No.
best football team playing in these semifinals.
Yeah, I mean if you look on what NFL mock draft database, like how many first rounders they have one in
Yeah,
Fernando Mendoza.
yeah.
Oregon's got like five, it didn't matter. Ole Miss probably has a couple, Miami's got a few, but yeah, it
It's
doesn't
unbelievable, man.
D'Angelo Ponce. He's 5'9" too, man. He's out there kicking tail, dude.
Dude, Ponds and Ducks, they're comfortable together.
I, his dad was in the stands. His name's not D'Angelo, it's Angelo. So it's
I
apparently he
respect
played.
it.
I think he played at the same high school as what Jeremiah Smith
Oh, did he really? I didn't notice that. I
and
didn't know that.
CJ Bailey too. So yeah, we have a powerhouse that was down there in South Florida. So yeah, that's fired up, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I think like it just keeps coming back to me with Indiana. Like, this is the best coach team in the college football playoff. I don't think that there's any question of that. And like, I truly think that we need to start having a conversation of where Kurt Cignetti, not just is Kurt Cignetti in the Kirby Smart, tier of coaches, the top tier coaches in college football. I think we need to have start a conversation of where Kurt Cignetti is in that group because like I don't think he's last.
No, he's probably second behind Kirby and ahead of Ryan Day, and I don't know who the fourth best coach in college football is right now.
Yeah, I truly don't either. So like when you like, yeah, he's probably the second best coach in it's unbelievable.
Honestly, we're making a compelling case for Mario 84 right now.
100%, absolutely. Mario, we'll get to Miami. I have some thoughts.
Yeah,
There's still some Mario in Mario, and we saw
most
quite
certainly.
a bit of that.
I don't know if you saw this. They had you have the most like lovable, enthusiastic quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, and you have the curmudgeon of a coach in a Kurtzy Daddy. It's basically the kid and the grandpa from that movie I didn't watch.
100%, man. It's exactly that. And like, since we mentioned Miami, all I could think of was like Kurt Cignetti needs to borrow the belt Michael Irvin's been using with BTA, man, because Indiana's the one actually putting belt to ass.
I heard. I mean, I don't like talking about that because it's like it's a little. We're not going to go. I'm not going to drive it in the ditch there,
I
but
mean, to be clear, Michael Irvin is not actually beating a human being, so there's
no.
that.
Yeah, apparently he missed his flight from Glendale back to Miami, and he's probably gonna walk on all fours there.
I mean, are we surprised? Are we surprised?
A little off topic here. Paul Pierce went after the Hawks after trading away Trey Young, saying that this franchise is never going to win anything, and if they do, he's going to walk on all fours from New York to LA. Like Michael Irvin, like, dude, you pooed your pants in NBA finals. How to get stretched off.
We've
Really.
all we've all pooed our pants at one point. Not all of us had to get in a wheelchair.
That doesn't make it worse at some point, but I don't know if Dante Moore did that tonight. He was rough. We'll touch on Oregon here later. This came to me today as I was watching this game. I think with Indiana, we have gotten to the point where they are the rough equivalent of the Splash Brothers of Golden State.
Yeah, I like that a lot because like it's almost like I think the one characteristic that I think would be the difference is like you had like that era of the Warriors felt a lot like this Indiana team. Indiana doesn't really have the stars. Like there's not a that like Fernando Mendoza is phenomenal, but I also wouldn't say he's Steph Curry. I wouldn't say he's Klay Thompson either.
No, but you have the three people who actually really matter with this truly,
Yeah,
and Kurt Signetti and AD Scott Dolson and your big pocketed booster Mark Cuban.
that's right.
So
Yeah, finally ponying up, man.
what I'm saying is like this is fun, this is great, but
Oh yeah,
if this happens again next year, I think there's gonna be some fatigue and there's gonna be some people turning on them, kind of like they did with Golden State.
100%.
It's like you've cracked this code and everything like that, where like 4 and 5 stars don't matter, but they do. You just don't have they just don't have to come from Mount Impressionable.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like if 4 and 5, like you can turn a 3 star into a 4 star, you can turn a 4 star into a 5 star, and that's what this coaching staff is doing, and it's pretty damn impressive to watch.
It most certainly is. And you have the argument now, like, is this the best program in the state of Indiana? And it might be. Notre Dame's pretty damn good too. But yeah,
I don't know. We didn't see him in the Pop Tarts Bowl, so how can I assess what Notre
I
Dame is?
I don't know. There was some sort of thing out there about Marcus Freeman being sad about not making the playoff. Well, I'm happy to play a conference too. I don't care.
Also, like the committee looks hella validated considering Miami's now playing for a national
Mhm.
championship.
Yeah, and I think Pat Coogan's validated for leaving in Notre Dame.
Yeah, who isn't?
He's vacationing all around Indiana like he's Jerry Gergich.
Everyone leaves Notre Dame. No, only rare few go back, like Ty Buckner.
Did you have that other ice cream ready? It's like he usually drops the first one.
He drops at about 50%. That guy had the perfect like old ice cream shop man voice too. Speaking of, since we are on the topic of Parks and Rec, I did see a meme about Kurt Signetti and Fernando Mendoza, and it was April and Andy.
Yes.
And like Kurt Signetti is April and Fernando Mendoza is Andy. And it's not wrong.
No, it's April Ludgate play where Aubrey Plaza is like, we're all gonna die. And then it's Chris Pratt playing Andy Dwyer says, of fun.
It's accurate. That's how they are. That's the dynamic.
I can't believe Fernando Mendoza is going to become like the biggest thing to happen to Las Vegas since Wayne Newton, man.
He'll have a residency for sure. I mean, I can't
Uh,
think of a more or a less style like not stylistic. That's not what I'm trying to say. A less
doesn't fit the city.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Not the
Uh,
team, but Las Vegas and Fernando Mendoza.
Colin Cowherd talked about this back in the day a couple of years ago, which is probably what's in my memory. It's like Derek Carr didn't fit Vegas either.
No, 100%. But
No, but like,
Fernando's likable and Derek Carr's not really that.
I mean, I mean, I mean, so we know Fernando Mendoza isn't a Pixar movie about up, and we know Derek Carr is in one and he broke toys.
That's right, 100%. I mean,
Uh,
Pixar laid it all out for us, you know?
and I don't know what Pixar character Mario Cristobal is. I think he's in The Credibles, but I'm going to move with my next run here. I'm going to make sure I got this absolutely right. I can't really read. Miami is the perfect combination of edge and talent to serve as the ultimate underdog at home versus Indiana. They've got the right chemistry. Indiana might be a buzzsaw, but this team is as good as we thought they were at the start of the year. I think in previous playoffs, they would have won. I think that they could have beaten Ohio State last year. I think they could have beaten Michigan in 23 too.
Yeah, I mean, this team is phenomenal. I'm gonna give them their flowers before I say what I have to say about like kind of a look ahead for Miami in the national championship game. But like, dude, Carson Beck has grown up a lot in the
Yeah.
last couple days. Like
Mhm.
he really has. And I think the biggest thing I kept looking at with Carson Beck is like he wasn't perfect in that game, but he also didn't do anything that was necessarily like backbreaking. He didn't do
Yeah.
and like we saw that too much at Georgia. We saw that in the regular season against Louisville specifically in that 4 interception game. And like you look at what the way Carson Beck has grown, and then you just look at like the way I think one of Mario Cristobal's greatest strengths and what I think he's learned over his coaching experience, because I don't think this was necessarily happening at Oregon, he lets his best players be his best players.
Yeah.
And like there's something valuable in that. And it's something that like if I was an Ohio State fan, I'd probably be yelling at the TV a whole lot more to like, hey, why don't you throw the ball to Jeremiah freaking Smith? And like they don't have that problem at Miami. They're gonna feed their stars.
Look, there's only two types of head coaches who can win national championships. The ultimate CEO type, which is Mario Cristobal, or a defensive-minded guy, which Kirby Smart, Nick Saban's kind of in that, but they go into being a CEO type. Kurt Szigeti has become a CEO type.
Oh
Kalen
yeah.
DeBoer refuses to. Dan Lanning, I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but
He's a CEO, but the company's about to file Chapter 11.
I found out what his kids' names are. They're so dumb.
I save it for the Oregon segment, but I do want to
Yes.
hear them.
Um, Mario this is everything that we wanted Sam Pittman effectively to be. I mean, even
Yeah.
like, with like the big chest and everything like
Yeah,
that.
100%. He's got a rack of ribs, man.
Yeah, man. He's got the mojo sauce going on that there too. But look, Mario's like, I got a quarterback who's seen everything in Carson Beck. I've got an offensive coordinator who should be the head coach at Tulane and Shannon Dawson. And I've got arguably the second best defensive coordinator in college football and Corey Heatherman behind Brian Haynes up there in Indiana and everything like that. He trusts his guys to make it happen because look, Mario's kind of cut from the same cloth as Coach O. It's like I'm a recruiter. I'm a line coach. This is what I do. But if you ask me to call plays, this is my forte, and I'm not going to step in that lane. I'm going to empower my other guys around me to make it happen. This is how you build organizations. You empower people. You delegate, and he's built a fantastic one there in Coral Gables for sure.
No, I mean, and like to your point, like I agree with everything you just said about what he's become. He hasn't always been that. And like
No,
I think we've seen tremendous growth from Mario Cristobal and not just like what I said, making sure your best players are getting the football, but I also think like he has his team. It seems like everything's pulling in the same direction. It seems like I would almost say that it almost seems like he's evolved in what he's doing as a recruiter. He's not just recruiting the best guy. He's recruiting the best guy that fits with what he's trying to do with his coordinators. And like part of that is to your point, the strength of the coordinators that he has, the confidence that he can have in those, that he doesn't feel like I just need whoever the best talent is. No, I would rather get the best guy that fits what we're trying to do. They have an offense that likes to push it downfield. Well, let's make sure we don't lose a guy from in-state like Malachi Tony. Like, let's make sure we get him in the freaking building.
he was born in 2007. Throw dirt on me.
That- that's that's gonna make me curse more than anything on this show. That's tough.
Dude, we were like driving cars and like having wings and wearing cargo shorts and drinking Mountain Dew, thinking about
Brother.
chasing girls, trying to figure like if they like us. And they maybe liked you more than me. But I was not. That was not me in high school.
You want to come take a ride in the 2000 Chevrolet Cavalier? Come on, baby.
I can buy you a hot dog at Quick Trip, baby.
That's right. 100. We didn't even have a quick trip. I can buy you a hot dog at the sit go.
Hell yeah. The Mills River Sitco changed the game.
That's right.
I'm trying to not make this about Oregon here, but I kind of wonder if Mario has found himself being back in Miami because this is his third opportunity being a head coach. He was the head coach previously at FIU. Challenging spot there, trying to, win at his home city, not working out. Then
Yeah.
you get the Nick Saban rehabilitation. Then you go to Oregon and you have a lot of success there, but it gets in your head. It's like he didn't use Justin Herbert effectively and
Mm-mm.
everything like that. He had to kind of basically, he had to replace what was it Willie Taggart or yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
it
think that's right.
was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Willie Taggart was not good, and that was in the wake of hitting the fan with Mark Helfrich too.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon wasn't in the Chip Kelly spot when Mario Cristobal got there. That's for sure.
No, but I think he's back home. He's unencumbered and he's thriving. I'll say this though. We got to have some tact with evaluating Carson Beck. I saw one person write something about him. It's like, he's not a victim here, dude. Like,
No, no.
no, no, he's just a complicated person to figure out. I think he plays his butt off there. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's a flawed individual. So are we like just let him play football and let him be a third round pick by like the Titans and maybe he'll take Cam Ward's job.
Dude, he could be Charlie Whitehurst. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Like he could be that for a long time in the NFL.
They look, they
Clipboard.
look they look nothing alike, but yes.
No, I was going to say clipboard Sid the Sloth. But
Um,
no, I mean, like, we don't want to like overstate the Carson Beck thing. Like, it's not like the redemption story arc. I don't understand
no,
necessarily, but like, I do think it's a player who has improved mentally more than anything. Like, I think
I
like
mean,
mentally he has gotten tougher as an individual, which good on him. Like he deserves his credit for that. But like, let's not make this into something it doesn't need to be.
Now he's on that spectrum from Tim Tebow to Jeff George. He's somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
100%.
Yeah.
I do want to I did something on TikTok for this, and I do want to like give you this little sliding doors moment. My TikTok was basically Caitlin Clark is why Miami is in the national championship game, and here's how it happened. Okay, so in the 2024 Elite Eight, Iowa and Caitlin Clark played LSU. Iowa got the revenge on LSU. Caitlin Clark had 41 points because she cooked Haley Van Lith to an absolute crisp. In the transfer portal of women's college basketball after that game, Haley Van Lith transferred to TCU. Well, guess who else had transferred to TCU earlier that offseason? Haley Cavender. And Haley Cavender, knowing that she would lose playing time to Haley Van Lith, transferred back to Miami. Carson Beck hits the portal in January 2025, and he goes to Miami to be with Haley Cavender. So therefore, Caitlin Clark is the reason that Carson Beck is at Miami and Miami is in the national championship game.
And now you have the Iowa Hawkeyes legend and the star of the Indiana Fever cheering on the Hoosiers.
I know.
I don't know. Indiana and Iowa should be a rivalry. They're not, but like they
Oh yeah,
should be.
they
They should
absolutely
play.
should be.
I don't know. They should play for like the Iron Curtain, the Steel Curtain. I found out that like Kurt Signetti is like the most Yinzer person ever.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, definitely. He grew up in a house where they smoke inside. Apparently his dad, like Frank Signetti Senior, like had his last rites read to him twice, and he bounced back both times.
What a guy. No, he's definitely the guy that walks into a restaurant and asks to sit in the smoking section and then doesn't smoke.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like, it just makes me feel home.
yeah. He's just those things we saw on Facebook. He's like he wakes up at 5 a.m., rips a dart in his kitchen, makes the Folgers or Maxwell House, watches some Matlock, eats some Werthers.
Yeah, 100%, man. He's just getting after it.
Frank Signetti Sr., Greg Luzinski, or Bobby Cox. That's all the goddamn saying.
It's the same cloth cut into different pieces, brother.
I know. And let's cut some more cloth here. What do you want to pass with?
Yeah, let's pass, and I'm gonna go with we're gonna pass on Ole Miss, and like we've been highly complimentary of Ole Miss. They deserve every compliment that we've given them. They've been, I would say, up until the semifinals, the story of the college football playoff because of what they've been doing with Lane Kiffin. It's been great to follow. I've been in their corner. We both picked them to beat Miami in this game, and unfortunately, I think this might be the end of the road.
Yeah, Trinidad Chambliss is probably going to be the third quarterback taken here because Dante Moore ain't turned pro now, man.
No, sir. No.
So I don't know who you're going to get. Maybe Austin Simmons seems like he's on his way to Mizzou.
Mhm.
Well, this got to get a quarterback here. P. Golding's taking over. Obviously, Charlie Weiss and everybody else is on their way to LSU. This is kind of one of those things, and I've cheered for teams like this, namely the Falcons. This is
Yeah.
this is how it goes. Like the 98 Falcons, like, oh, we'll be back in 99. No, no,
Then you
no,
weren't.
no. Jamal Anderson's knee blows out week one. Then the 2016 Falcons, oh, we'll be back. We kind of were okay with there with 17 and then fourth and Sark and haven't been back to the playoffs since. Like
Yeah.
when you've got a team that hasn't really been there and you're at that point where like, oh, I think we can get back. No, like these hangovers, not to say that Ole Miss is a bad football program, but like Lane Kiffin had them operating above what they were.
Mhm.
And I want to believe in Pete Golding, but also like this may be closer to Matt Luke than we want to believe.
I think it's definitely better than Matt Luke. What I've seen from Pete Golding thus far, I know it's a very small sample size, but like I'm impressed. I think that he had his team ready to face a team that's infinitely more talented than Ole Miss is last on Thursday night. And the one thing I wanted to say about Miami, but I can tie into Ole Miss's point, it feels actually honestly like Ole Miss left meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Um, Miami, the one thing that worries me specifically against Indiana, they played a really sloppy game against Ole Miss. There were a
Yeah.
lot of penalties. There were some bad
Four
time man.
drop, four dropped picks.
Yeah, oh yeah, a lot of drop, like just a lot of missed opportunities, and then you throw in some, late game mismanagement with the timeouts with Mario Cristobal that gave Ole Miss a chance to win the game, there, and that's, I'm not going to blame the loss or any result on the game on the missed call at the end, but that looked like defensive pass interference to me.
Yeah. But
But again, Ole Miss had opportunities before that they probably should have taken more advantage of. Having said that, you're not going to be in the position that you were in. And like I think that this is going to be a situation where who I think is thus far has shown he's a good coach is going to have a really bad time his first year. And like it honestly reminds me what I think Ole Miss could and Ole Miss fans, I apologize for what I'm about to say to you, but I think this is probably going to look a lot like year one of Jeff Lebby. A little bit better because you are Ole Miss. You do have more talent. Kawan Lacey's coming back to Oxford. So, like, you have a higher baseline of talent. You probably still make a bowl game. But I think, like, you should probably be happy with 7 wins.
I'm not saying this is going to pull back like 23 TCU, but like this is kind of one of those losses that,
23
you know,
TCU is a really good call. I like that.
they went 5-7. I think
Mhm.
26 Ole Miss will win about eight or so games
Yeah.
around there. But like this is kind of like again, we saw this happen in Oregon with Mark Helfrich replacing Chip Kelly. And I mean, he took Marcus Mariota and the boys to the national championship, and then they fired him a couple of years later. It kind of went down.
Mhm.
Look, I think Golding has a better pulse of it. I think he's a more impactful guy. I think that, he calls good plays defensively and
And I mean, he's
everything
from
like
the Nick
that.
Saban coaching tree. Like, let's
Oh
be
yeah.
clear. Like, I mean, considering we just watched a semifinal where every coach is from the Nick Saban coaching tree, like, he's in that mold. He's part of that. And, like, I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt given how fruitful, particularly like the recent branches of the Nick Saban coaching tree have really been.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like you got like lucky breaks to get to this point. I mean, you beat the snot out of Tulane and you gave everything Georgia had. You executed a lot better, and then
Mhm.
Georgia didn't give its all, I guess. But like not as fluky as the other team that lost, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It's tough because I want to believe that Ole Miss is going to be the playoff team next year, but like of the 12 teams that made it this year, if six aren't going to make it back, they're among the six that aren't going to be back.
Yeah, 100%. And like losing Chambliss is tough. Like that's the biggest
Yeah.
part of this. Like with him, even with like the coaching turnover, even with the players and that you have lost and are going to continue to lose from this group, like Chambliss was the equalizer because like what I saw from that kid in this playoffs was pretty damn
Yeah.
impressive, man. That's a good football player. And especially like you look like, I need to go and like really like fine tune this and like figure out what the actual numbers are, but like his fourth quarter stats from like the college football playoff have to be ridiculous. Because like what he did against Georgia in the fourth quarter and then what he did against Miami in the fourth quarter, like dude just flipped a gear and like it did was doing things that no one else like the go ahead drive before Carson Beck's drive where he scored the winning rushing touchdown for Miami, like that was methodical. And like the
Yeah.
fact that that guy's not going to be there anymore, and not only that, but you don't know really who the quarterback is going to be for this team. That makes me assume it's going to be a pretty substantial drop off, and that's a tough. Like I think that's like the thing that really sours me on this.
The other thing is, I don't know if he's draft eligible or what it is, but Canaro is special as a kicker.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, you don't win games with field goals, but you win games with him apparently. Like he's
Well, I
gonna
mean,
get
when you
drafted.
could pull up from like 60, yeah, you could probably win a couple games.
Like the last like kicker I felt like could just make it from anywhere was Jake Elliott coming out of Memphis. He was that type of special
And he
coming
he
out.
could too. Like he was
Yeah,
unreal.
like when you've got a kicker like that, I mean, some places always recruit it high, and Alabama doesn't. But like, if you get
Ohio
no,
State doesn't for sure.
no, 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 but Georgia usually has guys that can kind of do it. But like, not every program does. But when you have a guy that's just wow, like just wowing you with the special teams, like that'll pull back a little bit too, and that leaves you a little bit more on edge. And that basically means like we got to go for it in less than advantageous situations. We got to put more on the offense or defense's play because we don't trust special teams, and because you had that ace in the hole there the whole year, or at least during the playoff, like that may not come back again next year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Ole Miss, but like, also appreciate, like, this season was a hell of a lot of fun. I
Mhm.
know there
Yeah.
was some drama with Lane Kiffin that made it a little less fun there in the middle, but like, it bounced back pretty good in the college football playoff. I had a lot of, like, I think they're not going to win the national championship. Obviously, they are no longer in the college football playoff. And I will probably, if Indiana is specifically if Indiana, well, either of these teams going to win the national championship, like Indiana, I'll remember their dominance. Miami, I'll remember. everyone being pissed off that they got in on Selection Sunday, and then they went on and won their first national championship in 20 plus years. Like I'll remember those things first, but the second thing I'll probably remember about this college football playoff was Ole Miss because like I had the most fun watching them.
Yeah, they were a fun team. This is what we were kind of hoping for, like that. Like, can we just get a Lane Kiffin Ole Miss team into the playoff? And we got an Ole Miss team without Lane Kiffin.
It was an Ole Miss team that Lane Kiffin built, not necessarily coached.
He did. I had something else that was good about this with Ole Miss. I can't remember. It's coming back to me. It's like I don't know. Oh, I can't remember it. It was so good. Before I have to get to my pass or my punt.
Oh yeah, punt, and if you remember it, we'll just throw it in there. This show's already been a little all over the place.
All right, and I'm gonna punt here. Here's what I wrote down. I'm gonna make sure I got this absolutely correct here. I'm gonna pull the screen over. Uh, Oregon needs to burn all 7 million of the uniforms. They just need to pick two. That's it. And I have no idea if they're ever going to win it all. I'm with my fiance, the Arizona State podcast. We're trying to go get something to eat. Like I work at like 6 today. She's off. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go get some pizza and everything like that. I saw about like 8 people in Oregon uniforms just walking around, very hazy, low 60s afternoon here in Atlanta.
Oh,
I
low
don't think any of
60
this,
sounds nice, dude. The high today
yeah.
here was 32.
It looked pretty ominous. Like all of Indiana, apparently all of Bloomington was over there by like Midtown and downtown. They packed that place. But
Hell yeah.
there's a few people in and around like Virginia Highland, Ponce Highland, and Emmett Park and everything like that. I don't think
Hell
any of
yeah.
these Oregon people know how to use crosswalk. They just
No.
no, just all wearing different uniforms. Just really, really obnoxious. Look, you just need to pick two. Indiana has two. That's all they need.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you got to stop being Mount Impressionable. You have to. You have more better players. You had the most talented team at this stage of the tournament, and you fear Pete. Dante Moore just I don't know. He threw up down his legs. That's how pathetic he was today. It was like you can't play like this versus Indiana. You can't play like this versus any good team. And look, I know you won 2 playoff games. Whoop-de-doo Bowser beat James Madison, Texas Tech. James Madison was better than Texas Tech. Texas Tech couldn't do a damn thing on offense.
Yeah, I think I think we saw a little bit of what I've been talking about with the Oregon hubris. They
Yeah,
looked like they were going to come out there and try the exact same things they did against Indiana in the first game. Um, I'm developing a little bit of a take that Kurt Cignetti might be the one coach that you probably don't want to play twice. Like it, even if he won the first one, it's probably still not. It might be worse for you next time because they look like they knew everything Oregon wanted to do and was going to try to do. It was like Oregon looked so underprepared in comparison to Indiana.
that's the separating factor for the three best coaches in the sport right now with Cignetti, Smart, and Day. You don't want to play them twice. They
No,
might you might lose occasionally, like Georgia lost to Ole Miss, but like yeah, I don't think you want to play any of these guys. You
no.
know, no. Just so bad. Just so unbelievably like it made the Big Ten look worse.
Oh yeah.
That's how bad they look tonight. Like there's something in the water, there's something with the people they recruit, there's something with the people that honestly go there or root for
Mhm.
this. It's just fabricated crap.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired of it. I want to believe that they can do it. They have all the resources in the world. They recruit at a phenomenal level. They've got all the Nike money. They've got all these advantages, and they just don't get it done. They
Yeah.
don't ever get it done. And I felt bad. I feel bad for Dan Lanning there a little bit in the sidelines. I bet he wishes he was in a rain-soaked like sweatshirt, like on the sidelines in Iowa City. Like his
100%. That's where that's much more comfortable.
I don't think he ever wants to play in the Benz either, man.
No. The
Just
bins is where bad things happen. No, we don't go there. No, 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 no. Now that's Dan Lanning's Hawkins lab for real.
no, it's so bad. I'm just I'm baffled at this point. Like I just literally said nice things in a short in a previous episode. I'm like, I think Oregon should do it. I think they've got the talent, but
They have the
for
talent. That's the
they
thing. You're not wrong.
I don't even really know if like Tosh Lapoy or Will Stein got coach circles around in this game. I couldn't even get there with this. They were just
Stein to me a little bit, dude. Stein looked like he was out
yeah.
of his depth a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not really bullish on Kentucky moving forward. I think he's a little it's like me coaching Kentucky. Are you kidding me?
So let me first preface what I'm about to say with this is me talking out of my ass and something I just thought of right now. But let me see what you I'm gonna throw it out into the universe and see what you think about it. What if Oregon's biggest problem isn't actually Dan Lanning and it isn't anything that they're necessarily doing in the building except for one thing? They're not home growing a quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak ill of the quarterback position as a whole. Quarterback is the most impressionable position, I think, in the entire world. And I
Yes.
feel like Oregon has, because of the reputation that they have developed, it's where you go when you want to, have the swag, have the flash of, I want all these sick edits of me in these 7 million uniforms. That's what
Yes.
I want, and I want to be a
Mount
star. And Oregon
Mount
will make you a star.
Mount Impressionable. Let's just rename Eugene, Oregon to Mount Impressionable, Oregon. This is what it
Yes.
is.
And
The-
so like the I don't like the thing that has always baffled me with Oregon since Dan Lanning got there and all their shortcomings because of that is Dan Lanning comes from Kirby Smart and Nick Saban.
yeah.
That's not Mountain Impressionable. That's the
Mm,
opposite of that. And when you listen to him talk, it's not necessarily like you don't get the Mount Impressionable stuff. You see like the instances like where he came up from. You see his upbringing in coaching. And I wonder if the fact that they're always going to the transfer portal for these quarterbacks, because you look at the three primary quarterbacks they've had, it's been Bo Nix, it's been Dylan Gabriel, and it's been Dante Moore. Not one of them started their careers at Oregon.
no.
And I wonder if you can home grow someone where Dan Lanning's been talking to this kid since high school and you get him into Eugene and he develops for them. Like, I'm thinking about someone like JKS, that who was in the building. And if you had JKS in the building, who obviously went out and played his ass off for Cal this year, if you had him in Oregon doing that, he's not fear peeing down his leg. He might not be as talented as Dante Moore, but he's not fear peeing.
No, you think of the three greatest quarterbacks in Oregon, or four greatest quarterbacks in Oregon football history. This is removing any of these guys from the equation. Dan Fouts,
Hmm.
Justin Herbert, Joey Harrington, and Marcus Mariota. They were all homegrown.
I know. That's what I'm saying, man. Like
Uh,
I think you need to like,
Kellen Clemens was homegrown too.
yeah.
You you got to
I
get
mean,
back to some
even
Mike Bellotti stuff to us.
even like some of the lesser guys, like a Dennis Dixon, who was
Yeah,
I love Dennis Dixon. Dennis Dixon was
yeah.
awesome.
You can't like the Georgia thing is like Beck's a transfer, but he wanted to finish his career with Georgia. It just
Yeah.
didn't work out. Like obviously Fernando Mendoza spent 3 years at Cal.
And
Like
like I'm to be clear, I think this is a uniquely Oregon problem. Like other programs are obviously showing you can win with a transfer quarterback. Ohio State just did it last year. One of these two teams that's going to win the national championship is going to do it this year.
yeah.
I think it is a uniquely Oregon problem where like the biggest thing they need to get over the hump is to find someone who embodies the culture that Dan Lanning is trying to like get out there because like I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't see a ton of aspects of Oregon necessarily where I thought like specifically on like defense, it wasn't that those dudes weren't trying. They were just on the field the entire effing night, dude.
When you have a guy that's a transfer quarterback, it's like it's honestly become the same sort of thing with NFL free agency. It's like the best people don't let you leave.
Right.
Like like not everybody's cut from the same cloth. But like they're gonna wait it out for their opportunity to give it a shot. I mean, you end up being like Lincoln Conholtz, like, okay, I have to go to play at like Louisville now. But like, guess who wants to come to Oregon? Dylan Raiola.
Yeah,
Like,
shocker.
yeah,
Like literally the exact same thing we're talking about here.
and that's not gonna help you. But when you have a guy, I mean, who's grinded it out a little bit. Like that's how you have success in the NFL. Pretty much every quarterback of note has that we've seen is either like, I mean, not everybody can be paid Manning with your life's paved in gold, but like a lot of them play at places that weren't prestigious. Like
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger he didn't get recruited by Ohio State. He played at Miami, Ohio. Philip
Right.
Rivers, North Carolina State. Matt Ryan, Boston College. Jared Goff, Cal. Like, come on.
I mean,
Like,
look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Like, and I'm just not. This is not in any order. This is not a list, but I'm just like talking about guys like Josh Allen, Wyoming, Drake May, North
North
Carolina, not necessarily a prestigious powerhouse. Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech. Like we're
Brock Purdy, Iowa State. Jordan Love, Utah State.
that's what I'm saying. Like this isn't like a murderer's row of like alumnus that we're talking about here.
No, you got Matthew Stafford at Georgia.
Yeah.
You got Bryce Young at Alabama. You got CJ Stroud at Ohio State. But like they were there for multiple years.
Yeah, 100%. And like I remember us when we were talking about Dante Moore sitting behind Dylan Gabriel last year, and like I feel like I was like kind of getting to this point, but I hadn't fully realized it yet. But like I was like at least a little bullish on the possibility of Dante Moore because he was going to get a spend a year to like absorb the culture and not just like be dropped into this offense and be asked to go. You know, he got a year in the program. That's why Oregon, I mean, I think it's not a coincidence that Oregon got a little bit closer when they had someone who had done that, but he's still not been in this process through the entire time.
It's like you had to use this swag and the Phil Knight money to kind of attract people because Oregon's only got 5 million people in state. You don't have a lot of guys in state. Justin Herbert comes along once in a generation. He just
Just
goes
like
down
in
the middle.
basketball, like Kevin Love comes along
Yeah,
once a generation. Like it's
yeah.
not normal.
It didn't even play for you.
No, 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Oh God. But it's like it's unbelievable. You do that to bring people in. It's the same sort of thing that like Texas A&M has to do. It's like, yeah, we're kind of looked at as like the Hicks version of Texas. Texas Tech, it's like, yeah, we're the way out there remote outpost poke sort of thing. Like you gotta get people that want to come there that aren't in like
We're the
rural Austin.
eccentric billionaires. Let's go, baby.
I mean, you're not like in a capital city or a major fun college town. Like this isn't Athens, Georgia. This isn't Ann Arbor, Michigan.
No.
This isn't even Columbus or Austin where there's stuff to do.
Yeah,
Like,
right. No, it's you're in Lubbock.
yeah, but like you're in the Big Ten now. You have stuff like they gotta just remove this crap. Like
Mhm.
just focus on something. Like their menu is so big with whatever it is, and it doesn't matter. Just focus on Mike Bellotti football. Like Mike Bellotti is a former Delta Sig too. He's one of the greatest. Mike Shanahan, there's Ed O'Neill. There's a lot of football guys who are apparently in this fraternity
Hell yeah.
too. When Bellotti came over from, I believe, Cal Davis or UC Davis, he's
Hmm.
like first game. Like he came over like the mid '90s, and he was there till like Chip Kelly took over.
Yeah.
He would always stand right at the line of scrimmage and he would just like look at it and just size it up. Like we need to get back to that. And I think Lanning is capable of that, but he's gotta deal with all this like track star nonsense. And but then again he named his kids Caden, Niles with a K, and Titan.
I don't know which one's the worst, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Um the rib tat is worse.
Yes, correct. Correct.
I showed that to their So State podcast and she saw what the pit logo is, and it's like, man, that's just so degrading to Savina.
It's not exactly it's not chauvinist, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, is that where Mario Cristobal's FIU tattoo is?
that's on his ass. You know it is.
And this was 3 yards in the cloud and punt here on False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter or the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFP False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. Really helps the show grow. Again, fantastic seasons for Ole Miss and Oregon. We wish it could have gone further, but obviously, with Indiana and Miami, we're going to be seeing the Mario Cristobal Bowl versus the guy that apparently Fernando Mendoza went to the same high school as Mario.
Oh yeah, I did see that going into the playoff. Yeah. That's
So
fun.
I know you know a little more French, but so Mario Cristobal roughly translates to Mario Christopher. He went to Christopher Columbus High School, so it's Cristobal Cologne. So, and I believe his Fernando Mendoza the fourth, I think, his dad, Fernando's dad, was a lineman on Christopher Columbus High School back in the late '80s,
Oh, no shit. I didn't know that.
and I believe Alex Mirabal, the O line coach for Miami, was also on that team. There's all wearing like a bunch of 67s and 70 jerseys,
Hell yeah.
just looking like a line meet.
That dude, we love line meat. This is the line meat bowl. That's what they're calling the national championship. Um, I did want to throw this out here. Have you seen the line for this game?
because
Or
it
have you,
looks
let me rephrase that. Have you seen what happened to the Lion in this game?
it didn't. I saw like the chances of winning, like I think entering the game like to win a national championship, Indiana was like plus 200 or 120.
Yeah.
And like at halftime it was like minus 300.
Yeah. So the line currently for the national championship game is Indiana by 7.5.
Jesus.
Uh prior to kickoff, I was at 5.5. And by
Unbelievable.
halftime, it was 7.5.
Fernando Mendoza was so good out there, man. It's just
Dude,
like more
let me see if I
touchdown,
can find this.
more touchdown passes than incompletions for the second game in a row. He's the more athletic version of Matt Ryan and Jared Goff out there. It's just Cuban Cousins out there, dude, man.
I'm glad you said that stat because that's exactly what I was going to say. Uh, to be clear, this is a random Twitter user who I've never seen before, so this could not be true, but if it is, it's pretty damn impressive. This is Fernando Mendoza's fifth game this season with more touchdowns than incompletions. No other quarterback in college football has done that more than twice this century. That's unbelievable if that's true.
I know, man. Um, dude, Fernando Mendes, just unbelievable. It's
What a
just
guy.
what a guy. I gotta figure out to end this show. I don't know what to do here, but I was telling you off here. I was watching like the casting of like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure with Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, and they're pairing them up with other people, and it didn't work, but they were on the camera together. It worked, dude.
It's magic. That's what it was. Bill and Ted, that's something the universe had to decide.
Yeah, something's happening at Circle K tonight, brother. You're, I guess you're Ted Theodore Logan, and I'm Bill. What's his name? I don't
I
know.
don't know his full name, brother. You beat me with Ted Theodore Logan, so
Excellent. Wild Stallions forever. Let's get Eddie Van Halen on guitar because this is false start.